What?
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Boom! Shakalaka turner! You're out on the floor! Ejectocito, cuz! It worked! I love this part! Please! Come on!
Goodbye, Benny.
Welcome back, you guys. This is the Millennial Classics with yours truly, Swadik Mayanja Mambari Makaya. And on this podcast, we talk about the best and most memorable movies, music, and culture-changing events of our generation. Mambari, how you been, guy?
What's good? How we been?
Another day, another dollar, Mambari. Please tell me and the folks, what movie are we doing this week, and why is this movie a Millennial Classic?
We doing the high school classic, SUPERBAD.
I am McLovin. Hello, Mindy.
Okay. I'm gonna need to see some identification.
Makes me feel young again.
Yes.
And this is pretty much it. When you're talking about high school classics, for our generation, it's pretty much just this. It's pretty much just this. I mean,
Go ahead.
there's Accepted and there's a bunch of other ones, and then you can go into the 90s and 80s, but when you're talking 2000s, SUPERBAD's the cream of the crop.
So the thing is, it's more than the cream of the crop. I feel like it's the essential millennial high school movie, high school teen, whatever, raunchy comedy. It is so good. It is so good in the sense of you watch it right now in 2020 and it makes you giggle, laugh, rolling on the floor laughter, just like it did in 2007. I think this movie was it's nearly perfect when it comes to this very niche type of raunchy teen comedy. I love it. I love it from beginning to end.
I think you're going way too high on this one.
Are you serious?
I think you're gonna have to tone this shit down about 3 notches. All right, Perfect is a stretch. It's a good movie.
Listen,
it's a good movie.
Go ahead.
But listen, I think parts of it aged really badly, like more than the other R-rated comedies. And
oh my god!
And I think towards the end, If you want to tell me it's a great high school movie, I'll say that. I'll do that. But you praising it down.
Listen, this is an all-time classic, Maburi. I'm happy we have a disagreement straight from the get because now I'm going to be after you the entire time. So why don't we do this? Why don't you just give us a little bit of the plot and then I'll talk about the history. So what's the plot? What is this movie about?
It's pretty much 2 kids, 2 weeks before the end of high school, 2 best friends. Well, not even best friends. These guys are like beyond best friends. Yes. And they're pretty much just trying to get laid before, or not trying to get laid, trying to get girlfriends before the end of the summer.
Right. And then it's one of those movies where the entire movie happens in one day, and it goes from like they're at high school. I mean, they're at the school. They have to get the beard. They have to go to the party, and they're trying to get laid that night. It's one of those movies that all happens in one day. Raunchy high school teen flick. So let's jump into my time machine and let's go back to August 17th, 2007 when this movie was released. And let me tell you what was goings on during that time. So the January of 2007, Apple announced that they were going to release the very first iPhone, right? High School Musical 2 dropped the same month in August 2007 that this movie came out. May of 2007, Jordan Sparks won American Idol. If you don't know who Jordan Sparks is, she's the lady who sang No Air, huge song back in the 2000s. Whoopi Goldberg joined The View, and then the final book of Harry Potter was published. Just a quick history on your music of that year. This is huge, Mumbury. I hope you're ready.
2007? It's the Carter 3, right? The Carter 3?
I think so. I did not write that on my notes, so I don't want to say no.
I honestly remember the Carter 3 more than I remember this movie. Like, I remember where insane. I was when I heard a Millie for the first time.
Hey. I can't believe you remember that. No one remembers that.
No, everyone remembers that.
Wait, can you please where were you when you heard a Millie for the first time?
I was literally I think I was playing video games at a friend's place, and he just said, "Stop what you're doing. You gotta listen to this," and played it. And I was like, "All right, it's pretty good." And then he played it again, and I literally thought it was like the greatest. I thought it was the greatest thing of all time. I mean, to the point where I'm pretty sure if you asked like half of the population of America to quote the song, they could quote it.
Okay. You're insane. Mumbori, first of all, you're insane, but I'm happy you brought that up. I'm not sure if it did come out that year, and I'm sorry if it did. But what I have written down here is October 2007, Soulja Boy had the number one song.
Was it Kiss Me Through the Phone?
No, it was Crank That Soulja Boy.
Oh, yeah.
It was the number one. Yes, it was the number one song that year. And I love doing this with you, Mumburi. Do you remember what the biggest movies were? I have the top 5. So if you get any 2007. Let's see if you remember any of the big movies that year.
Was Superman Returns one of them?
Nope. Like I said, I only have the top 5. It could have been, but it's definitely not the top 5. Yeah, 2007.
Yeah, 2007 is a whack year. All right.
Stop it! You
2007
lying.
was a Harry Potter movie.
Yes,
was there.
That's one of them.
2007, there was Spider-Man 3.
Very good. That's number one. Very good.
Was there an X-Men movie?
Nope.
The No Lord of the Rings. 2007, Indiana Jones.
False. Wrong again. Okay, you're done. All right,
okay,
but
done.
You did hit. You hit two big ones. All right, you hit number 1 and you hit number 5.
Give me a hint for one of the other ones.
A hint for other ones. They made like 7, not 7.
Twilight is there.
Nope.
What?
They made 4. They made 4
Hunger Games.
Nope, 4 sequels. 4 sequels to this movie.
Oh, Shrek.
Shrek the Third is 2007, but the one I was trying to give you a hint for was Transformers.
Okay, yeah.
The original Transformers.
No, I should have gotten that one.
Spider-Man 3 was number 1 that year. Shrek the Third was number 2 that year. Transformers was number 3. Pirates of the Caribbean, At World's End, and Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix was number 5. You did pretty well.
Oh, shit. I think I was in Kenya this summer.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, because I remember being at the theater in Kenya. By the way, the ticket was $2.
Well, good for you.
And the dude was like showing me a poster of Captain Jack Sparrow.
Like he needed to entice you to go.
I mean, he literally walked us in and showed us a 15-minute preview of the movie. Theater was empty. But
yes, so that was what was going on
2007.
In 2007, specifically August of 2007. Mumburi, how was this movie made, and any details on the making of this movie?
So, I mean, it was directed by Greg Mottola, but the key name here and probably the name on all the posters is Judd Apatow.
Yep.
And this is like peak when like Judd Apatow just had mad movies. He had Knocked Up, and he just kept on coming. I mean, I think he just released a movie with Pete Davidson, Staten Island, King of Staten Island or something. But yes. He does a lot of R-rated comedies. The budget was $20 million, and this movie knocked out of the park. Made $169, so it was a huge hit. Rotten Tomatoes is 88%, and the Metacritic was 76. So this was like an all-around, like well-reviewed, good hit, low budget. This is like everything you want in a summer R-rated movie.
Was this a real? Wait, you said it was low budget?
$20 million.
Oh my god! It only cost.
I mean, it's not like super low budget. It's not like fucking what's that fan movie where the fan goes across the screen?
I don't know what that is.
They made like 4 of them. It's like super dark, and it's like night vision, and you're just looking at someone's house.
Paranormal Activity. You said a fan going across the screen. But Murray, I miss you. But yeah, no, that's wild because. But
I mean, there's no actors in this. There's literally no one famous in this. This was Jonah Hill's first movie. It's Emma Stone's first movie. Seth Rogen, and Bill Hader. Bill Hader was like just off SNL. Seth Rogen was off for 1 or 2 movies. Actually, he just done Knocked Up, but he wrote the movie. I mean,
like, I don't remember the last movie we did, but it was not the last movie, but there was a movie we did where it was a lot of when the actors and actresses were kids, and they all grew up to be fantastic. This is another one of those movies where the cast is impeccable. I mean, through and through impeccable. When we get to the cast, we'll talk about those details. But the entire cast, from top to bottom,
it was
just
like
amazing.
Mike. It was like Mike.
Was that really the movie? That's not the movie I'm
that
thinking about.
sounds absurd when you say it. Did we really say like Mike has one of the greatest casts of all time? Oh no, it's because of Caleb Landry. It's because of it does have a good cast. We were right, but this cast knocks it out of the park.
Yes,
100%. Like the guys who they're actors in this cast that like we don't really think about anymore, but they're like they still act a lot and they're way more famous than a bunch of the kids in like Mike.
100%.
Way
more famous is an understatement. I mean, these are like actual stars. I mean, the people are like these are like actual stars.
The movie was written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. They started writing it like when they were 13 in high school. It's about them in Vancouver, and it was supposed to be Seth Rogen playing. I mean, it's literally Seth and Evan are like main characters.
Yes,
and it was supposed to be Seth Rogen playing Jonah Hill's part.
Jonah Hill part. The Seth in the movie, whose name is Seth. Yes. I'm happy that you mentioned that because that was one of the things that I did like finding like when making of the movie. I think that's amazing. The fact that they started writing this when they were in middle school or high school or whatever, or at least they just kept the stories and brought these were a lot. They said, at least what I found was that a lot of the scenes or a lot of the things that were happening in the movie were actual memories that they had. Obviously, the like shooting with the cops is obviously fantasy, but they said that a lot of the stuff was actual things that happened to them in high school, and shit was fucking wild. Like, I actually found out when we get to when I was doing research for this that the bleeding on Jonah Hill, who is named Seth in the movie, pants was a thing that actually happened to one of the directors, producers, Seth Rogen, or whoever the director was in high school. Like a woman actually bled on their pants while dancing, which I think is fucking insane. Speaking of, it is disgusting. Speaking of which, favorite scenes, Mumbury. Give me the options. Let's get into this
first,
movie.
Where were you when you first watched it?
Yes. So I wish I could remember, and I was trying to remember, and I'm here with Adam and Lauren, so I was like, when did you guys watch it? When? I don't remember. I really don't remember the first time I watched it. So I can't. There's nothing for me to say for that answer.
We were like what? We were 13, right? So we were like just going. Were we
freshman year or sophomore? It's like one of those. It was like either
the summer after freshman year.
The summer after freshman year. For us.
You know how I heard about this? I heard like seniors talking about this movie.
Oh yeah.
That's what I heard. Like they were quoting the trailer, and I was like, "What the fuck are you?" I wasn't like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I was just curious, and then they were just kept on talking about SUPERBAD, and then eventually it became like the movie. You know how like every summer there's like movies you have to see. So that just became one of them. But I don't remember actually going to the theater. I don't know if I went to the theater.
That's the thing.
This is
Ditto.
Peak pirating, so I don't know if I would snag that shit. I don't know. But
I just want to let you people at home know, peak pirating for Mumbury lasted from the ages of 10 to like 23.
Dude, when Comcast sent me that cease and desist for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I knew it was a wrap. Yeah, they had all the albums. They're like, Watch the Throne. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Mumbury didn't pay for anything for the ages. Anyways.
But now I got that Apple Music, so we good.
No, it's not. Fuck you and your lies. Since streaming was the answer to pirating, right? Streaming for movies and music was the answer to pirating because you can't compete with the pirating, all right? LimeWire was popping back in the days. All right. Best scenes. Let's get into the details of this movie.
So I will say one thing about what do you remember when we first said SUPERBAD? What do you remember about this movie?
So Emma Stone was the first thing that came to mind because like rewatching it, she's a goddamn babe, and in my head she was a goddamn babe, and I was 13 when I watched this movie, so like obviously Emma Stone was the first thing I thought about when I watched this movie. When you said that this is the movie we're gonna watch, and then my second memory was everything Fogel. Like McLovin was like the first thing, you know, like that's it. So those were the two things: Emma Stone and McLovin.
So I realized when I watched this that all the scenes I remember, all the like 95% of the quotes happen in the first half of the movie.
Oh, so you weren't a fan of the second half?
No, I thought it slowed down a lot, but here and most of the scenes I like happen in the first half of the movie. So when we start through the scenes, a bunch of them, you'll just see how stacked they are. Because the home ec scene, I like the intro, but it's not like anything special. But the home ec scene, when he's explaining to the teacher, and he's like,
"Okay,
I'm like a single mother out here." Oh my god.
And it's BS. Excuse my language. I'm just saying that I wash and dry. I'm like a single mother. Look, we all know home ec is a joke. No offense. It's just like everyone takes his class to get an A. It's bullshit. And I'm sorry. And I'm not putting down your profession, but it's just the way I feel. I don't want to sit here all by myself cooking this shitty food. No offense. And I just think that I don't ever need to cook tiramisu. When am I going to need to cook tiramisu? Am I going to be a chef? No. There's 3 weeks left in school. Give me a fucking break.
And then...
Why am I even cooking? He's like, what?
He's like, why am I even cooking? I'm never gonna cook fucking tiramisu. And then he goes, I'm sorry, like I don't mean to belittle your occupation. I mean that whole scene, and then that goes the whole home ec right into the intro to Fogel.
It's fantastic.
He like walks up, and you just clearly tell this dude is just the worst. He's like even cornier than these two guys. And he tells
comes
the story.
in and he's like, gangsters.
And he tells the story.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
By the way, Fogel definitely has a Confederate flag somewhere in his life.
100%. 100%. Fogel is hardcore.
Dude,
right?
Fogel is a classic dude where you go over to his house and he has like the snake in like 9 different parts and a Confederate flag right next, and he's just like, yeah, I just like the flags.
It's decoration.
But when he's explaining that he just followed a girl down the hall, staring at her thong, and then when she turns around, and his line was, "It's 10:33." That's just that part gets me every time.
It's amazing.
So,
it's an amazing scene.
That scene, and then the drawing dick story.
What? Draw pictures of dicks.
Dicks? Like a man dick?
Yeah, like a man dick.
When it's a lot longer than you remember, but when he talks about it,
it makes you sit in that uncomfortable place. Amount of dick pictures that it's almost incredible how good the drawings are.
Dude, I literally wrote down like the best 2 drawings was the Tiananmen Square. That one, I literally was like, like if they try to release the movie in China, they wouldn't put that dick out there.
100%.
Now you can't. But that one was great, and then the gorilla banana one, where the gorilla is peeling
I'll have
a
to
banana
go back.
dick.
I can picture it now.
Those 2. So I love that scene, and then the fake.
But
IDs.
wait! Before you, go ahead. No, go ahead.
And then so those 2, and then fake ID scene. So this is not the first one. The theft, the when he goes into the first liquor store to try to steal shit, that one is okay. But the second one, where I mean everything from like their outfits, when they like,
Wait. No, I'm sorry. Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean the first liquor store and the second liquor store? What are you talking?
Do you remember when they first meet up? They're outside.
So you mean outside
Fogel's,
of his? Yes, outside of Fogel's
place.
job.
And then he's like, I'm just gonna go in and steal some shit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So not that part, but the second one.
Yep.
Wait, you changed your name to McLovin? McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What are you trying to be, an Irish R&B singer?
Oh, they let you pick any name you want when you get down there.
And you landed on McLovin.
Yeah, I was between that and Muhammad.
Why the fuck would it be between that or Muhammad? Why don't you just pick a common name like a normal person?
Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a fucking book for once.
When they're waiting for Fogel outside and they first see the fake ID.
Yes.
And they're like, what the fuck? Are you an Irish R&B singer? What the fuck is McLovin? And then they're like, you look like a future pedophile. I mean, all the jokes that they drop are
fire.
You have one name, what are you, Seal? All of them great.
Amazing.
And and the McLovin scene is pretty much like what you remember from this movie. I mean, mad people just call the dude McLovin for years.
Yeah. But that's his name on the IDs, McLovin. Yeah, of course. Yes.
And then after that, I have the liquor store scene where the outfits are wild.
I mean, was he like us or
A woman?
no?
Female?
No,
Is that what
no,
you're
no,
asking?
I would say
was he
like
What?
African?
Was he African?
African.
No. He was American, and he was like you. He looked just like you.
He was Jewish.
Just
Fogel shows up with a vest and he goes, "You look like Aladdin." The cops show up. It also is like, it's good because you really see that Seth's Jonah Hill's character is just such an asshole. I mean, to the point where he's just like leaving people behind, doesn't care. And then the two party scenes. First one's okay. The adult one,
Yep.
that's okay, but the high school ones, but I like it better.
Okay,
They kind
so
of have like a montage.
you have to break those scenes down a little bit more because those are really long scenes. Like, what
Yeah.
exactly do you mean by
So
the
that's
first
why I
party
didn't
scene?
like the first party scene. When they first show up to the party house, it's because it's so split out into many different parts. Basically, the most important part is the dancing with the girl, and then
Yep.
and then he gets the blood in his.
Pants.
But why would I be bleeding? Why the fuck would I be... Dude, why would there be blood? Oh, fuck. Oh, my God.
And then for the other one, it's the montage where the music starts playing. I think it's like Boogie Time or something like that.
Yep.
And Sarah's in the tub trying to get wasted. Jonah Hill's killing everyone with his stories. It's like that part in like every high school, college party scene where like it's in slow motion and the dude's like pointing and shit and everyone's like laughing at his jokes and like he's making eye contact with people. It's like that shit never happens in real life, but in all the movies it's always just like that. And McLovin's dancing with the 1033.
Yes. Yes.
So those are my scenes.
So I have to say, you definitely missed one. It's not my favorite, but I have to say this. Officer Slater and Officer Michael, Seth Rogen, and Bill Hader, when they have McLovin in the car, some of the greatest lines are from from that scene.
Some of the worst scenes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that when we get to worst scenes, but I think you definitely need some of Bill Hader, Seth Rogen, and McLovin. I don't care if it's shooting at the stop sign. I don't care if it's in the car getting to know each other. I don't care if it's burning the fucking cop car. But one of those scenes, because the three of them is like movie magic. And in the like making of the movie, when I was doing research, I found out that they you know, like a lot of comedies, they just let the camera roll and just do, what is it called? Ad lib. Like they just go at it. A lot of the scenes were like that. And when we get to the quotables, there's actually a couple of quotes that I picked from the movie that I found out were ad libbed via the movie. But when it comes to favorite scene, easily, bar none, no question about it, is when they first looking at his ID and they ask him, and what's his name? Fogel is like, you know, McLovin, and Muhammad was like the number one. I love that, bro. That scene
The fake ID
is
scene. I love it. Irish R&B singer is such a good joke.
Yes. Just one name? Who the fuck are you? I love that scene. I love when he says Muhammad is a number one used name in the
Google,
world.
like,
have you ever read
asshole.
a book? I was
like you want to punch someone at that point.
And he's like, have you ever met someone named Muhammad? He's like, obviously not. I'm like, what? I love that scene. That's easily my favorite. And like these characters, and the reason I love that scene so much is because you believe everything in it, right? Because you meet McLovin in the beginning of the movie,
and you believe immediately this dude's such a
because
goober.
he's such a goober. So yes, by far first time they see the ID is by far my favorite scene in the movie.
I mean, so some of the cop scenes are okay. The first couple, when he first meet him and they go for a ride and they go to the restaurant and the drunk guy. The inept cop scenes are funny. The one I put for worst, the one I put for worst is the fake arrest. These cop scenes, they don't age well after Black Lives Matter and all that shit, bro. I'm gonna say that shit right now. It's hard to look at this shit and
I'm happy you said it. I'm happy you said it.
And laugh mad loud. Like, I'm the king of, if it's funny, it's funny.
Yes.
But like trying to pin some shit, I don't know. It just didn't seem as funny anymore. And the other thing was, Mindy at the liquor store was trying to explain to them that it was a white guy, and they're like, so black guy.
One of the funniest things is when he's like, is he like you or me? He's like, he's like me. So he's Jewish? I was like, yes! Murray, I literally have in my notes the exact same thing. Post Black Lives Matter, that scene where he's just like, where he hits Seth, Jonah Hill, and then he has him, he's like, put your pussies on the ground, get on the floor and hold hands.
I was like, yo, if this was two black people, I'd be like, I'd actually be afraid for them. And
exactly.
Spread your shit. Get on the ground. Loaded gun. Ready to go. Spread your shit. Pussies on the pavement, fellas. Come on.
But here's the thing, because, I don't know. I don't know. Because you don't want to, like, it's a comedy.
Yes.
And I did enjoy it the first time I watched it. It's just...
The rewatch is hard. In 2020, the rewatch in the summer that Black Lives Matter blew up, it's hard to rewatch this. Being that it's two young white kids makes it a lot easier to watch, but at the same time, the entire time, these cops are fucking up. From like literally the second you meet them till the end, they literally hear a call when they're at the bar. There's so much blood, and they
and they just ignore that shit. And they literally talk about how it's like having a gun's like a second dick and all this shit. And I'm just like, so that's why, and that was around the time when it really slowed down. Like that second party scene goes on for a long time. It's just really slows down. Not a lot happens because obviously they have to like stall. I mean, they have to stall the movie before they get to the party. But I just feel like you learn so much about these characters in the beginning half, and then I don't know, so much wild shit happens in the middle.
So the thing is, it's like, so the only issue I had with this movie, so for worst scene, I do have the cop chasing scene when the two cops hit Seth and they chasing each other around. That's for me the worst scene, because like I think the pacing is wrong, and you have to build all of the ridiculousness until they get to the party, and the cop chasing stuff is so ridiculous that you don't believe any of it. He like has 2 bottles of gasoline. Bill Hader's character has to taste it. It's like a lot of
they go from serious to jokes. The cops, like, they just keep flip-flopping, and also McLovin not saying anything. I'd have been like, yo, that's my boy. What are you guys doing?
Right.
And then they probably would have just let him go. I don't know. I just feel like it like escalated way out of like what a comedy is.
Exactly. Because they made it way too ridiculous. I think that scene specifically made it way too ridiculous for me to take anything else seriously. By the time at the end of the movie, like, I know I just said it made it way too ridiculous, but the scene where they're pulling out McLovin and he's screaming and you know when Bill Hader's character
I have no problem with the.
I love that scene.
That when they break up the party and then the end McLovin scene, and even talking to McLovin, I really like those scenes.
Ditto. I'm just saying
I really like
that,
those scenes.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying that the build-up had to be really extreme, and so I understand why that scene is in there. But I think it's obviously the worst. It just pulls you out. It's like, obviously this is bullshit. None of this is real.
All right, before we do MVPs, I got a couple of things since we were talking about the movie. All right, first off, the hard F-bombs, not F-bombs. You know the word I'm talking about.
Oh,
when they're letting maggots fly.
Yes.
That didn't age well at all either.
Not at all. Burry, can I say something, please? Can I please say something? I'm so happy. Everything that you're saying that is PC policing, I had in my notes. But I'm
it's not
usually
even
the
PC
PC.
policing, it just seems wild.
No, I'm just saying. I'm usually the PC police in this. I'm always the PC police. So I'm so happy that you're the one saying it because I literally have it. Like at the end when we go like these are the final notes, I have all of these things listed. I'm very happy.
No, because honestly, the only thing with those is it's not even like a joke. They just drop it.
Yes.
It's not like if it was a good gay joke, I'd be fine with it. It's just they just drop the word and then that's it. The shitty night out montage when he's completely making up what they did with like alone with the boys in the basement just drinking. Oh, God. That shit. That's honestly, so it felt too real to like there's so many things. There's that, and then there's the when he's like goes into the bathroom drunk and he's like trying to talk to himself. I'm like, yo, if everyone's done that. Everyone's gone to the bathroom, told themselves to pull themselves together.
Let's go. Let's work this. Let's work
maybe
out.
Splash some water
exactly.
on your face. And then the cops busting parties, especially high school and college, and the cops come and everyone just scatters like cockroaches.
That's exactly how it goes down.
Every time.
So
this movie really brought back
those memories.
But so let's move on to MVP, LVP.
So
I think me and you are gonna have the same MVP, so I don't even think it's gonna be a debate.
Fogel?
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. See, I knew it. So
dominates the movie.
He dominates the movie. I mean, he like everything he says is hilarious. You believe how crazy the character is. Like everything he says and how nervous he is when he first has to go get the beer. Like all of it. And like the way he looks when he comes in with his sweater.
You know what he is? Do you remember those when Miami Heat had LeBron and Wade and Bosh?
Okay, where are you going with this? They had
those games where out of nowhere Mario Chalmers would just start drilling shots, and you're like, "Whoa, what the fuck where is this coming from?" That's what Fogel is. It's literally like it's Mario Chalmers, and he's asking for some respect on his name because people have been ignoring him, and he's just hitting shots because, I mean, you look at the cast and you expect like the best performances to come from those guys, and then Fogel comes out of nowhere, and that's like all you remember.
Blows it out the park. But look, listen, I think credit where credit is due.
Mario Chalmers did a lot of good work in the. No, okay.
Stop. I'm good. I got it. Mario Chalmers did it. Fogel, you're the man. But Jonah Hill as Seth in the movie is such a close second for me because
really, I think Sarah does a better job.
Michael Cera as Evan. So, so the thing is, it's because I laughed a lot more at Jonah Hill, but
he has more jokes.
He has more jokes, but like, I just feel like there was a lot more acting and work necessary for Jonah Hill's part, and he did such a good job doing it. And yes, he does take it to an extreme, and sometimes you feel like I don't fall for that joke. There's a lot more jokes that Jonah Hill makes that you don't laugh at. Every time Fogel speaks, you laugh. Jonah Hill makes 100 more jokes than Fogel, but at the same time, he hits it. I think he hits it out the park, and I love Jonah Hill in this movie, and I think he does absolutely fantastic. But yes, there are some scenes where you're like, oh, that's a little too much. That wasn't too funny. That's a little too raunchy. But as a whole, Jonah Hill, I loved him. I loved him as Seth in this movie.
The guy, Joel Trujillo, the guy that hits him for the first time, a lot of car crashes in this. That dude, he's definitely either a pedophile or a weird. I mean, do you think he's an actual pedophile? Because he literally was like, you kids on MySpace?
Yes, bro, in the car, right? Well, Jonah Hill's on the phone, well, Seth's on the phone talking, and he's just like, yeah, this is, like, he's talking to Emma Stone, he's like, I'm gonna go pick up the drinks, I can't wait to see you, and he says, are you on MySpace? And he puts his hand back with a high five. I am dead.
First off, I literally was thinking, like, would you get into the car with this motherfucker?
No! Murray, no!
And then the second thing I was thinking was, when he goes, I can't believe one of you guys didn't want to sit up here with me. I literally was like, what?
And then right before that, Bert, he says this. He's like, look, you can't go to the cops because I promise I have a non-violent effect.
Dude,
I'm like,
when someone says that,
you can't.
don't get in the car, bro.
Just
that's one for the kids.
Just don't get in the car. Don't get in the car.
Also, while I was doing some housekeeping on the story,
Yeah.
the other thing was the panic attack that Fogel has before he goes in with the fake ID.
Oh, yeah.
I've definitely been there. Have you had one?
No, I haven't, because I was one of the lucky kids that had a friend like yourself who had a fake. So I never had to do the dirty work. I never had to do the dirty work.
First time, you literally you're like literally all the shit that you think about is running through your head.
Oh, wait, so do you remember the scene with Seth when he went into Fogel's job and he had all of those visions of
Yeah.
I forgot that was part of the movie. By the time it got to the third vision where he had his neck slit, I was like, this is too much. All right, let's bring it back some. But yes, I do understand the nervousness and how scared you would be. Because I've never went into the liquor store prior to being 21, but I have been in the car waiting for someone who had a fake, and I was nervous sitting in the car. So I can't imagine.
The first time, if I remember the first time I went in, so nervous, you get the card. You don't even know where the wild thing is you don't know where anything is. You don't know the prices, you don't know shit. But I just remember I went in the first time and I didn't even get carded.
Oh my god.
I didn't make it to the door before I started laughing. Couldn't believe it. My heart had been beating so much that when the dude did card me, I literally just started laughing.
I bet, bro. I bet, because it's scary, bro. It is. It really is. It really is. But yes, before we move on, any quotables? Let's talk about some quotables.
I mean, obviously, funny thing about my back is that it's located on my cock. That's probably the classic one. McLovin.
So
all this home ec stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me go through some of mine, because I have mine broken up by a character. So, starting with Seth, Jonah Hill. I heard when they were talking about the chick who had the breast reduction. And
that's one of the worst scenes.
I know it's one of the worst scenes, but I love this line when he's like,
I gotta get closer to see these warlocks.
No, even before that, when he says, what? That's like slapping God across the face, giving you a beautiful gift. Yeah. I love that scene. And the entire conversation when they're talking about, what's it called? The McLovin, the entire McLovin scene. But I also wanted to talk about when Evan brings out his lube and he's like, what?
Spermicide lube.
He think Becca's going to be psyched that you brought a bottle of lube? Oh, Evan, thank you so much for bringing some lube for my pussy. I can never handle your fucking 4-inch dick inside my pussy without your gigantic bottle of lube. I was rolling on the floor laughing.
What do you think, Becca's gonna be psyched that you brought a bottle of lube? Oh, Evan, thank you for bringing that lube for my pussy. I never would have been able to handle your fucking 4-inch dick inside my pussy without that gigantic bottle of lube.
Okay, that's enough.
These girls are 18 years old. They're not dried up old ladies. They're good to go.
Love that scene. And then we talked about...
I'm going to be the Iron Chef of pounding vag.
Yes, Iron Chef of pounding vag. And then for some of Seth Rogen or Officer Michael, when he's selling, what's it called? You mentioned this earlier, when he said that having a gun is like having two cocks if one of your cocks could kill someone. I thought that was fucking hilarious. And then in the scene when he's breaking up the party, he says, I assume all you guys have crack and guns prepared to be fucked by the long dick of the law. Great. If I'm a cop, I'm saying that every time I break something up. That's the greatest line as a cop ever. The
scene when Jolo Truglio, I would be so mad if I was the kids, because they get to this party and then Jolo Truglio, who brought him there, immediately proceeds to get his ass kicked because he wasn't invited. On top of the fact that not just wasn't invited, because there's not being invited and you show up and no one does anything because they're like, oh, it's fine. And then there's immediate fucking hands thrown. And this dude gets kicked out, and instead of dipping, which I know people like this. He hit him immediately and then said, "I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did that." Truce. I know people exactly like this. The first punch didn't go out. They just decide, you know what? I'm out.
After the first punch.
After the first punch.
After the
Let
first
me tell
punch.
you. Let me tell you as a strategy. After the first punch, you're gonna get your ass kicked. If you just
100%. It's not even a question. Of course you are. Of course you are. Of course you are. And then I have to put this in just because I think Michael Cera, I think he did do a really good job. But both lines that I have in my quotables for him specifically is when he's talking to Becca. The first time Becca's like, "I'm so wet for you right now." And he's like, "Yeah, they said that would happen in health class." I was like, how does someone say that in this situation?
And then the smooth.
Yes,
smooth dick.
yes, that's the one. She says, "You have such a smooth cock," and he's like, "Yours would be too if you were a man." I'm like,
Yeah.
who is this kid? Does he even want to get laid? Does he even want to?
The scene, we're gonna do LVPs, but
Oh,
the
yes.
scene with Michael Cera singing and all those guys doing coke,
my God.
that's one of the worst scenes.
Yes.
I'm like, why would you do that? Just walk out the door.
Please.
They don't think you're a bad person. You walk out the door. Be like, I'm not singing.
I'm not singing. You don't have to do the coke. Just walk out the goddamn door. But they were serious about making him sing, and it seemed like everyone at that party was just ready to throw hands no matter what.
Yeah, wow.
Right?
Have you been to a party like that?
No, not where everyone is just.
It's like it was a biker gang. That's what it felt like.
Exactly. So the thing is, I obviously everyone knows those dudes who get drunk and want to fight every fucking person, but I haven't been to a party where everyone is
They're usually
that dude.
5'5".
Oh my god, everyone there just wanted to fight. Everyone there wanted to fight. Oh, you said LVP.
I have no one. There was no
Yes,
one that stuck out.
Murray. Yes, ditto. I have no LVP. I was like really, really looking, and I was like, by the time I got to the person I thought was an LVP, it's not important enough to the story where it matters. So I was like, this doesn't make sense. Let me stop, pulling teeth here. I have no LVP. I think this movie's fantastic, and like we said earlier, everyone in this movie that is an actual actor that has a name and is on the cast list did bigger and better things after.
Even
this movie.
like Dave Franco shows up for 2 seconds as a soccer kid.
He does
Which
better.
has a great line from, didn't you piss yourself? And the guy's like,
That what
was
happened.
8 years ago. He's like, people never forget. And then,
I love
dude,
that, yes.
the kid from Hot Tub Time Machine, he's the friend. You know the kid, like balding kid with the glasses in Hot Tub Time Machine? The youngest one out of the group.
Oh my god, yes!
He's the friend in,
oh my god!
he's the high school friend that hangs out with Becca.
Yes!
And there's so many people. Obviously, Joe Trujillo's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I mean, we'll talk about the cast, what they did after next, but great.
Let's just jump right there. Because right now I have the remake and the recast. Wait, what did you say you wanted to talk about?
No, we're going to talk about like who, where are they now, and like who peaked.
Yes.
And honestly, the most famous person from this movie, and I don't think it's close, is Emma Stone.
Who peaked?
No, the most famous person from this movie.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I think it's Emma Stone.
You think Emma Stone is more famous than Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill?
I think she won an Oscar. She's been in Spider-Man. I'm talking about
Seth Rogen? You telling me what are you talking about?
No, I think that's close. I think Emma Stone and Seth Rogen are close. But I think Emma Stone's bigger.
Listen, I'm gonna say Emma Stone maybe as just an actress.
That's what I'm talking about.
If he's talking about strictly just acting, sure. But Seth Rogen is leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else right now and during this movie.
we're talking about acting, right? What are we talking about?
I know we're talking about acting, but in acting there's directing and producing. Like, it matters, bro. Like, he's still in movies. Yes, we can still say acting.
Let me tell you what Seth Rogen's last couple movies are, and let me tell you what Emma Stone's last couple movies are, because I think Seth Rogen might be I think he's famous, but
he's way. I think Seth Rogen's way more famous than Emma Stone. There's no. I mean, sure, she has she was nominated in La La Land. Sure, great. But I'm
right,
sticking.
This is Seth Rogen. He did American Pickle.
Okay.
He was Pumbaa in Lion King.
Yeah.
He did Long Shot. He did Like Father.
I don't even know what that is.
The Disaster Artist.
Yep.
And everything else is TV. Sausage Party was 2016. Neighbors 2 was 2016. Okay. This is Emma Stone.
Talk to me.
Tell me what she did. Zombieland Double Tap. The
Lala.
Favorite. She did The Favorite, which
I don't know what that is.
Got nominated for Mad Oscars.
Okay.
La La Land.
That was huge.
Battle of the Sexes. Aloha. Birdman.
Look, listen. Sure. If you want to compare the movies, yeah. Her movies were Oscar nominated, whatever. I would put
just
money
better
on.
movies, bro. Seth Rogen's best movies were from 10 years ago. Right?
Sure.
You agree with me? No, don't say sure. Say yes, because you agree with me.
The answer is yes. You're right.
What's your last best Seth Rogen movie? Neighbors?
Probably Sausage Party. I thought Sausage Party was hilarious.
I don't think I've seen Sausage Party since I first saw it, to be honest.
And that's fine, but I stopped watching La La Land halfway through because it's not my movie, but everyone loves it, and it is a great movie.
It's okay. To be fair, it wasn't the best movie.
I never finished it. I couldn't finish it. It was insane. I was like,
I don't. More of a Moonlight guy.
Yes.
You like the jerk in the sand. You finished that one, didn't
you?
You
Barry. I love you, Barry. I miss it. I miss doing this. All
right, so
let's agree to disagree.
We'll put them both up.
Yeah, let's put them both up.
You know what happened? It's because I didn't even think of Seth Rogen when I was writing it, but talking about the main cast. I was mainly doing that's what happened. But I agree, Seth Rogen's huge. He writes, produces, does a lot of stuff.
Directs. So he does it all. He's like really
Seth Rogen and Emma Stone.
But can we? I don't know how much you've been keeping up with this stuff, but I do need to put this asterisk in, and I was going to mention this at the end. But Seth Rogen is one of those dudes that are being implicated for the whole Epstein, Kid Island wildness.
I haven't heard that at all.
I've heard it. Okay, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's my thing. Because I was just thinking. I don't know who I was talking to this about, but you gotta have a couple. You gotta have a couple visits before I get worried. Because the first visit is like, yo, Burry.
I know.
We got an island.
Oh, you mean to the island?
We got a party in an island. You want to come through? Fine. Yeah, I'll come through. Wait, how are we getting there? I already got a jet. Word, I'll come through.
Let's go.
If after that first one, you've been back 10 times, then we got a problem. But I think like the first time, I mean, what if you just show up? What if you're like, yo, my boy's going to this party. I guess I'll come through. What if that's you?
No, but you're right. No, and I agree with you 100%. Like, if you're on that list once, I think you do get a pass. If you are going back like Bill Clinton, motherfucker, there's an issue.
But Bill Clinton's been a dog, so I wouldn't even. I just give that to him. I think he's on solo on that one.
But I wanted to just put it in there because I love Seth Rogen, and it hurts to say, but it is the reality. It is the reality.
But there's no proof, right?
Of course not. There's no proof, and no one's indicted.
Let's wait till any proof before we start throwing people down.
And that's fair, and I like the way you think. Exactly. Agreed. But
so him and R. Kelly, good.
Stop!
I'm joking. I'm joking.
You do know? Wilding. Wait, real quick. Yeah. 3 of R. Kelly's friends are currently in trouble because they were intimidating the victims. R. Kelly's on a different level, bro. R. Kelly and Jeffrey Epstein were hanging out.
What would you? If you like your I don't know, your best friend who's a girl decides to buy a one-way bus ticket to R. Kelly's house and it's across the country, would you be more mad at R. Kelly or the girl?
Look,
I'm not victim blaming, I'm just saying, bro, but
I'm not victim blaming, but this victim is fucking up.
I don't know, there's something about like, because you hear like NBA players and stars, like they fly girls out, but if he's bussing, I just feel like feel like
real talk. If you were gonna accept a bus ticket or pay for your own bus ticket, at some point we gotta talk about agency. Right?
You gotta. I mean, the story I heard, this one was she was 18 and the parents were like he hoodwinked her. I'm like, hoodwinked? Who do you have to I mean, hypnotize. I mean, what's gonna? Do you know how much you have to compel someone to take a 15-hour bus ride across the country?
Yeah, that's insane. Well, when it's
actually,
a superstar,
no, we shouldn't get. We're not going to start defending our.
Yeah, you're right. Let's not do that right now.
Let's talk about Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill killed it. I think he was the most surprised rise coming out of this, because if you watch this movie,
why do you say most surprised?
Because I think if you watch this movie, you go Emma Stone, Bill Hader, Seth Rogen, even I don't know, those three. I think you would put like the biggest
current stars. But if you watch
I'm saying like in 2007 you'd pick those three actors to be the biggest.
Yes.
And then now you look at it and you look at Jonah Hill and you're like, Wolf of Wall Street, Moneyball, he's been killing it, and he like really can do both dramatic and comedy, and 21 Jump Street obviously, which is beat this movie to be the highest grossing high school movie. They also need to get some regular girls out here, bro. Hollywood got to stop doing this thing where it's like regular dudes and then like model girls. Because this is wild. Jonah Hill's two love interests, in this and 21 Jump Street, are Emma Stone and Brie Larson. Yeah. Let's get fucking real for 10 seconds.
Literally,
Seth Rogen's love interest for the last rom-com was Charlize Theron. What are we doing?
It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense.
You don't even be ugly. Just be like a regular person. Be someone you can walk down the street and see.
Who was Seth Rogen's chicken Knocked Up? She was a babe.
Katherine Heigl.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it is straight.
It's like
babe.
These are all people you don't see at CVS. No. Give me someone I can catch at a CVS.
And especially if you set them up with fucking Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill.
All right, if it's Tom Cruise and it's Mission Impossible, I get. You're gonna throw
Will Smith in Focus. I get. That makes sense. That makes sense. The recast and the remake. I know you like doing your remake thing, right? I just made a straight recast, and I actually am proud of the people I picked. Do you have?
We're probably gonna have the same people, because honestly, I take pride in this. I don't know a lot of kids' names.
Oh, agreed.
So I'm not gonna start naming out. I could Google a lot of this shit.
Let me go through my list of my recast, okay?
Dude, if I was like, he's 15, he's an up-and-comer, and
you'd be like, yo. So for Seth and Evan, those two characters, this one was a stretch for me. But have you seen Good Boys? The black chubby kid in Good Boys?
Yeah, I've seen Good Boys. Good movie.
Great movie. Keith L. Williams, he's the black kid in Good Boys. I have him as Seth's character. He would be in 2020. I think he's like 16 or 17. But I think
wasn't he like 10, 11 in that movie? It came out last year.
Yeah, I think that's what he was playing as a 10 or 11-year-old. I don't know if he was actually 10 or 11 years old.
Okay,
he looked
maybe
like
he's
a bigger
15. Kid. He looked like a kid. They were supposed to be in elementary school or middle school?
Yeah, they were supposed to, I think, getting into
supposed to be in middle school last year.
Something
so
like
you're telling me in 1 year or 2 years, now they're going to be seniors in college?
Seniors in high school. Yes, I mean, but I'm saying...
Right. We'll slap a 5 o'clock shadow on him.
There we go. So I have Keith L. Williams as Seth's character, and then I have Noah Schnapp from Stranger Things as Evan's character.
Oh, I dipped into the Stranger Things well, too.
Okay. For Fogel, I have you seen Booksmart?
Yeah.
Yes. So
we should talk about Booksmart.
We definitely should, because it's like the remake of this. But Beanie Feldstein.
Beanie Feldstein. Jonah Hill's sister.
Yes, she is who I have as Fogel's character, because I thought in Booksmart she knocked it out the park, and she was fucking hilarious. And
she pretty much plays Jonah Hill's character.
She does, but I'm saying she would be a great Fogel's character in my recast, right? Yep. For Officer Slater and Officer Michaels, I have because I thought Heat was a fantastic movie. I have Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock.
That's the Heat. Don't slander Heat like that. 'cause
Okay, sorry.
Heat is Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Excuse my disrespect. The Heat. For the two lady leads, I have Emma Stone for Emma Stone's part and Martha
Let me guess. You have
guys-
Zendaya and you have Millie Bobby Brown.
Fake news. No, I don't. I actually went with Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones, and then Bella Thorne.
I honestly don't think she's a good actor.
Wait, seriously?
Have you seen her?
I saw Dark Phoenix like
How was
like
that?
hours ago with
How was
Lawrence.
that?
It was the worst.
That's such a Lawrence movie. I can see Lawrence being like, let's sit down and watch Dark Phoenix.
I'm like, this is literally the worst superhero movie that came out in the last 10 years. He's like, it's on Hulu. We have to
Next
do it.
week, we're watching the first Hulk movie.
And then let me just end this because I had to add it. But Bella Thorne as what's it called? You know, Evan's love interest Becca. I have Bella Thorne, which she was in
the same thing we just talked about.
Yep, and then Francis the driver. I had to add this because I thought these two would be great.
Francis,
Creepy.
who's Francis?
Francis the driver. I have Aziz Ansari.
Who's the driver?
The driver, Aziz Ansari or Ken Jeong.
Oh, for the guy that hits him.
For the guy that hits him. Francis the driver is his name in the movie.
Ken Jeong would be perfect.
Yes, I have Aziz Ansari or Ken Jeong for those characters. Anything you think I'm ridiculously off kilter with, or who would you have for your recast?
So I changed it because
Hit me.
I thought literally I was like, I watched Booksmart, I enjoyed it, and I thought they pretty much did this better, not better, but they did the 2020 version of it, and it's really good. You know, like they have like Uber and they like all this shit. What I thought about doing is instead of doing the last day of some last day of high school, which all these movies do, all the way back to like all of them pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing the first day of college, like the first day, because it's literally like when on the first day of college, it's like orientation, not orientation, but like you meet up, you see who's on your floor, you meet up, and then immediately you try to see what's good that night. And like you can't do anything really because you're a freshman, so you have to like be creative. So I was like, let's just get a bunch of kids, first day of college, one day shenanigans. And so you would do like Tom Holland, Caleb, and Finn from Stranger Things.
Oh my god. Tom Holland. Wait, I'm sorry. I just have to say Tom Holland is such a great pick.
They're in a triple in same room, and then they meet up with Haley Steinfeld from Bumblebee. Yes. And Yara Shadid from Blackish.
Yara Shadid. Okay, keep talking. I'm just gonna Google.
And there are some college seniors on campus, and I had to get Jaden in there. So Jaden's a college senior.
Jaden's in every movie.
I'm trying to throw him some roles, bro. Jaden's a college senior, and I thought about if Ice Cube's kid could be a college senior, but I think he's too old. But
no,
how there's
he's
always
not.
people. I know how there are always people who show back up to college, like college parties, and they're like 28. So I'm thinking we do one of those until he shows up.
And you want Jaden Smith to play that character?
No, I want Jaden Smith to play college senior.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, that would be my movie. First day of course. You call it orientation or some shit like that.
Beautiful. Done and done. Done and done. And I just looked up Yara Shadid.
You know her, right?
Now looking at her, yes, I do. But I didn't know her off of the name. And yes, I like it. I like it.
You know who would also... Henry Golding would be a good senior, too.
Henry Golding. Where is she from or he from?
Crazy Rich Asians. He's a dude.
Yes. But yes. I agree. Before we end this, I know that we talked about how moving Superbad to 2020 would be rough, but I had to mention this, and I thought this was super important because I've also, being here, have recently watched American Pie and a couple of those American Pies. I know we said like, yeah, using the F word was wrong and some of the jokes were fucked up and it can't translate into Black Lives Matter cops thing, but all of the relationship sex stuff was fantastic. in the post Me Too culture. Evan didn't want to hook up with her after she got drunk. Emma Stone wouldn't hook up with Jonah Hill after he got drunk. All of the consent stuff was fantastic. I just have to say this. All of the consent stuff in this movie were great. If you were to watch American Pie, in the beginning of the movie, they are, without the female's consent, recording her and live streaming her undressed and get naked.
How many movies in the 70s and 80s are like, let's creep into the woman's locker room?
Exactly. So I'm just saying, Superbad post Me Too is they did consent stuff great, like fantastically. So credit where credit is due, and I didn't want to mention that.
I don't even have a problem like with the F-bomb stuff. It's like it's just something you just know. You feel it right away when you watch it. But it's like it doesn't really stop anything.
It's like when you're watching Dumbo and you see those black birds. You're like, this is, you can't. You're like, this doesn't, it's not the song isn't bad, but the characterization is bad. Yes, I get it.
Yeah,
I get
if I'm Mongolian, I couldn't stand Mulan, bro. I'll tell you that shit right now. I'd be like, yeah, they really do it as dirty on this one.
By the way, for those who have seen multiple Millennial classics, just let Mumburi know that he has mentioned the Mulan bad character more times than necessary. That's obviously your favorite bad character. What are you talking about in the Disney? It's obviously.
Yeah, so the thing with this movie, the reason why it's not top tier is because there's other movies, I feel like, that came out around the same time that also have some of the same problems, but I like them way better. Like, to me, the best R-rated one is Wedding Crashers and Tropic Thunder. And those two, I literally, like, I don't think they're close to this movie. Like, this movie's, like, it's big because we were in high school when it came out.
Yeah.
And so we've, like, a lot of the same memories and a lot of the same stuff. But I just feel like I would rather watch, like, if it's on TNT and all three movies are on, I'd rather watch Tropic Thunder or Wedding Crashers.
So I just want to make sure I emphasize something you just said. I mean, our podcast is called Millennial Classics, and yes, we were in high school when this came out, so I think that's it's a good thing. Like, not saying it's a good thing, but it's bonus points for the movie that it came out in high school while we were in high school.
I mean, we're not doing Accepted, so
I get it. All I'm saying is, I think it's in our podcast. Yes, you are right. I mean, I'm saying big picture, you are right, but for our podcast, I think it's a good thing that it came out, and it was a big thing when we were in high school. But I agree with you. Wedding Crashers, Tropic Thunder, I can't wait till we do that because I'm like one of the very few people that Tropic Thunder is when we'll talk about Tropic Thunder, but I agree with you wholeheartedly about Wedding Crashers, and we need to do Wedding Crashers ASAP because it's probably like top 3 comedies of all time for me. I love Wedding Crashers. Fucking love Wedding Crashers. Anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
No, I mean, I think we did a pretty good job. This movie is one of those movies where you really, like, you get to see a cast of people before they, not just a cast of, like, actors that you recognize, but a cast of, like, future A-listers.
100%.
It's it's Jonah Hill's first feature movie, and it's Emma Stone's first feature movie, which is wild.
Amazing. Especially on Jonah Hill's part, I think.
Like, that's wild for the casting. It's wild for both of them. They knocked it out of the park. So with this and Knocked Up, both of those, like, really cemented Judd Apatow. And that's big because, I mean, we're still getting in. He did Trainwreck with Amy Schumer and LeBron James and Bill Hader. He did.
I love how you mentioned LeBron before Bill Hader.
One of them played with Mario Chalmers, bro. What do you want me to say?
Wait, Murray. Can we give the fans something hot to take with, right? So this is gonna drop in 2 weeks from now. But who do you think is gonna win this mini season of basketball? Have you been watching?
I think
it's wild.
I think the final's gonna be Lakers Celtics.
And you think the Lakers are gonna take it?
Yeah.
You really think the Lakers are gonna beat the Clippers? I'm worried, bro. Did you see how they lost against OKC? Like, they do great, and then they do absolute shit. I think
number 2 is good, but I think Paul George is going to let him down. I think Dame really showed Paul George who he really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Bombari, this was nearly perfect. I love this. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Catch us next Monday. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hugs and kisses. Deuces.